Kev, let me let you toot your own horn about something else. OGIG, because Kevin's also the man behind O-Shares, folks. I encourage you to look it up. But OGIG, OGIG. This one, I want Kevin to describe how you picked the stocks in it, Kev, because in your short commercials that people might hear on air, they get an idea of how you picked them. But this thing is up 80% year to date. 80%. I mean, we're doing this show, folks, on the 21st of October. It's up 80%. The NASDAQ, 33. So again, you've picked some of the best of this area. Tell me how you did that and what your focus is when you create these ETFs at O-Shares.
Well, the genesis of O-Shares, it's an exchange-traded fund. It's rules-based. And so, a couple of years ago, Connor O'Brien, who's the CEO of O-Shares, I called him up. I said, Connor, listen, I've got all these companies. Some of them, 20% are selling abroad now too, selling their products and services. And we are digitizing our offerings. We're selling our products direct to customers. And I want to show you the amount of money I'm spending on licenses for all the companies that I'm using to do this. Because if I'm spending that much money, there must be billions of dollars coming out of the rest of the economies that are doing the same thing. And I showed them Shopify, for example, how many licenses I was buying on that company to give me the ability to ship direct to my customer. I love Amazon, but I don't get the name when I sell through Amazon. I don't know who my customer is. With Shopify, I do. I control my relationship. So, I do a lot with Amazon, and they're great people. I would never, I want my relationship there. But most of my companies now have set up their own e-stores, and Shopify has 1 million businesses on it. So that was just one name. I said, Connor, can you build me an index of every internet giant company that is out there? And first do the research to determine which rules determine success and market cap growth. Is it price earnings ratio? Because frankly, that would have not worked for Amazon 10 years ago. If all you cared about was the PE, you would never have bought Amazon. It was, 1,000 PE or an infinite PE when it made no free cash flow. It turns out that sales growth, the actual growth quarter to quarter of revenue, and the quality of the balance sheet are two of the most important metrics in any internet play. So Connor started to, not just domestically, of course, he has the FANGs in there, but he found, 70 plus companies around the world that are growing even faster. And one of them 2 years ago was a company called Zoom, which nobody even heard of. And at that time, I became a big shareholder of Zoom. And I said to Connor, what the heck is this thing? He said, well, I just looked at the balance sheet. I looked at sales growth. This puppy is on fire. And, it came out of Cisco, apparently. So I didn't know at the time, but I ended up being a big shareholder of Zoom. So inside OGIG are all the companies globally, not just domestically, the global internet giants. And you talk about outperforming the NASDAQ, it's because many companies in Asia, South America, Canada, Europe are growing even faster than our traditional FANG stocks. Because, frankly, our FANG stocks have been around a long time, but now they're being emulated by competitors all around the world. And OGIG has all of those. And so, yes, you're right. That thing is up 80% year to date, 100% year over year. And I don't see it stopping, John, because we're in the third inning of digitization. Now I know every single name: Wix.com, DocuSign, Shopify, Facebook. All of those names are part of OGIG. So instead of just owning a few FANGs, why not own the entire universe of companies that do the digitization? And it's not just domestic. The Swiss companies, the European, South American, everybody's going direct to customer. And it's the OGIG companies that are empowering that. That is a story of OGIG. And boy, I'm happy I own it. It's really funny. My son, Trevor, is an electrical engineer. I'm teaching him about investing. I'm showing him, the strategy of diversification. And, I showed him OGIG, I showed him OUSA, I showed him OEUR, my other ETFs. He said, Dad, why don't I just own OGIG? Why do I need anything else? I said, because you need diversification. He said, no, I'd rather have the one that goes up 80% a year. I said, no, Trevor, for every dollar of OGIG, you got to buy $2 of OUSA. So you have diversification. That's, it's wonderful to hear young people about, just give me the ones that go up all the time. Of course you'd say that.